Greetings to you, viewer. You are now on a channel dedicated to the philosophy of life, the search for harmony, and the meaning hidden behind the ordinary. Subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, and hit the like button so that more people can reflect on what truly matters. Also, if you feel that this project is bringing value, support the channel so we can continue creating inspiring content for you. Today, we will talk about something important and, unfortunately, often overlooked: why one should never shout at a woman. This conversation is not just about manners or respect. It is about the deeper philosophy of human relationships. What do nature, reason, traditions, and humanity's experience tell us about how to treat a woman? Shouting is a phenomenon that always evokes mixed feelings. It can be a powerful outburst of emotion, but at the same time, it is a manifestation of weakness. It is especially important to consider shouting in the context of a man's relationship with a woman, because here it becomes most destructive. Why is shouting not a sign of strength, but rather of weakness? To answer this question, we must turn to philosophy, which helps us delve deeper into human behavior and its consequences. Shouting is always a loss of control. Imagine a calm river flowing steadily and harmoniously. Now imagine a waterfall crashing into it, disrupting its tranquility and turning its flow turbulent and chaotic. The same thing happens to a person when they start shouting. They lose control of their emotions, becoming like a raging torrent. Philosophers throughout the ages have argued that true strength lies in the ability to govern oneself. Socrates once said that wisdom is the ability to remain calm in any circumstances. When a man shouts at a woman, he demonstrates his inability to control the situation, and therefore his weakness. Shouting is often mistakenly perceived as an expression of power, but this is far from the truth. Real power does not lie in the volume of one's voice, but in the ability to persuade, lead, and maintain respect. A man who shouts is actually admitting his impotence. It is a way to compensate for the lack of arguments or the inability to find a constructive solution. He shouts because he fears he won't be heard or because he doesn't know how else to express his point of view. But shouting doesn't inspire respect. It provokes fear or rejection. Shouting reflects the inner state of the person shouting. It reveals more about the one shouting than about the one being shouted at. When a man shouts at a woman, he exposes his fears, insecurities, and pain. This could be fear of losing control, fear of being misunderstood, or fear of losing respect. But these fears are not alleviated by shouting. They are only intensified. Shouting is also a symptom of pain that a person cannot articulate in words. When grudges, anger, or disappointment build up inside, shouting becomes a way to release these emotions. But instead of relieving the pain, shouting only exacerbates it, destroying not only relationships, but also the person himself. Philosophy teaches us that reason is humanity's greatest advantage. When we shout, we lose our connection to reason, allowing emotions to take over. It is the moment we cease to be ourselves, becoming captives of our feelings. Shouting destroys not only relationships, but also the individual who shouts. Every time a person shouts, they lose a part of their dignity. They lose self-respect, feel guilt or shame for their actions. Shouting drains energy, transforming it into a destructive impulse. Moreover, shouting can become a habit that is difficult to break. The more often a person shouts, the easier it becomes to resort to this form of communication. It is a vicious cycle that makes one a prisoner of their own emotions. Relationships between a man and a woman are a fragile structure built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Shouting undermines these foundations. When a man shouts at a woman, he not only humiliates her, but also undermines her trust. She begins to feel vulnerable and unworthy, which is a direct path to the breakdown of the relationship. Philosophers have always regarded calmness as the highest virtue. Confucius said that a person who can control their emotions deserves the greatest respect. The Stoics taught us to maintain clarity of thought and inner balance in any circumstance. Shouting is the opposite of these principles. It destroys mindfulness and makes us weaker. So how can one combat the urge to shout? First of all, it is essential to become aware of your emotions. When you feel the urge to shout, stop and ask yourself, why am I angry? What do I want to achieve? This simple question helps you regain control of the situation. Understand that shouting does not solve problems, it only makes them worse. Instead of raising your voice, try speaking calmly and confidently. This will demonstrate your strength and respect for the other person. Develop patience and inner peace. Meditation, reading philosophical texts, and reflecting on your actions will help strengthen your mind and soul, making you less prone to outbursts of anger. Shouting is a moment when a person loses themselves, but philosophy offers us the tools to regain control, become stronger, and learn to express our thoughts without causing destruction. Relationships between a man and a woman are always a mirror reflection of the inner world. In the next chapter, we will discuss how our actions impact women and why it is important to avoid shouting in order to preserve harmony in relationships. Shouting is not a tool, it is destruction. If you want to build strong relationships, if you strive for harmony, abandon shouting. Replace it with patience, dialogue, and wisdom. Remember, this video was created to help you become better. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and hit the like button. This way, more people will learn about this important topic. And if you want to support us, please do. Together we can continue sharing the philosophy of life that transforms destinies. Until next time, my friend.